Ron said he got to go pick up his kid today, so that's why he's not with us. But I want to show
Yeah.
y'all a couple things that I thought were spot on. Now let's go ahead and fast forward a little bit to the MLB, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
And I want to just chat a tiny bit about uh, a few developments. Number one, there are these really cool high baseball IQ plays that I want to show y'all to see if they impress you. But more importantly than that, we are finally starting to get an idea of who may be in this upcoming 2025 home run derby. And I'm wondering if y'all have any picks, anybody you'd like to see, but I'll go ahead and tell you who's coming up in it as of right now. As of now, we know that the home run derby is happening in Atlanta, where the All-Star game will be. So it would be a mistake if Atlanta didn't have somebody representing them. And so who is representing Atlanta? None other than the one and only Ronald Acuna himself. Mr. Ronald Acuna Jr. is going to be in the home run derby, fresh off of his recovery from Achilles, tearing his Achilles in his leg. So I'm geeked up about that. Now, also, Cal Raleigh, who currently leads the league in home runs, more than Aaron Judge, more than Shohei Ohtani, more than everybody from the Seattle Mariners, switch hitting catcher, also said he's pulling up for the home run derby. So that's two that I'm looking forward to right now that already make it interesting. I'm assuming we're more than likely going to see Pete. Pete has been in like every home run derby since he's been in the major league. All right. So I'm assuming the Polar Bears probably gonna pull up. But I haven't heard from Judge. I don't think Judge gonna do it.
Judge is not
Don't
pulling
think
up this late. He is not doing that no more.
I don't think I I would like to see I think Soto should do it. I think Soto should do it. I don't
Soto
know
won't
why.
do it either.
There's no reason for him to not do it. Honestly, like he should do
There's
it.
almost 700 million reasons why he won't and shouldn't do it.
So he's gonna get the money either way. So
Well, my
right
point
now,
is, he doesn't see the value that first of all, let's be very clear. This year's home run derby will not have the marquee names that the derbies had in the past. It'll have like the Cal, what's his name? What's his last name? Cal what?
Cal Raleigh.
Rally, which is not a household name, but does lead. You're right. Does lead the majors in home runs. You got a lot of names this year that are up there with their home runs that are not household names, and that's probably what you're going to get is a slew of people that you don't recognize in the home run derby this year. But that does not mean you will not get a great home run derby. You probably still get a very one or two people that stand out in the home run derby and give you a great event and a great show. But yeah, the marquee names are. It's almost like the All-Star game in basketball, where the ones that are making a lot of money and are the marquee names. They don't value the home run derby like they do the All-Star game. Now you're going to see all of those players with the marquee names in the All-Star game, but you will not see them in the home run derby. The home run derby doesn't hold any value like it used to hold. That title of run derby means absolutely nothing at the end of the season. And I think the only way that you really get those marquee names to get back involved is the same way I said about the All-Star game. You have to add some monetary value. The players are about them dollars. So you make a cash prize, make it, you know what I'm saying, and the trophy. And you may see some of the players. You got to incentivize these players, man. Like if you think that the players are like that of old who used to play for the fans, these players are not playing for the fans. These players are playing for the checks. Don't get it twisted. So and if the MLB wants to spice up the derby, then that's what they need to do. Spice up and spike up the price.
What can you really give as a cash prize though to the players that are making hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, because I mean, if you think about it, yes, you have a good point, but the ones that you want to attract aren't going to be attracted by small numbers, right? So,
well, depends on what you mean by small.
I mean, like you can't, you're not going to be able to give out like hundreds of $1 million contracts. You got to be able to. I mean, it's got to be something that I feel like I feel like you should win money that goes towards a charity, like that. That already happens. Like when Pete Alonso won, he gave his money to the firefighters and the first responders of I believe of New York. And that's what typically would happen. I don't know what happened with Teoscar. He won last year, but Teoscar is bowed out for this year. Not going to defend his title. I guess I can see why he's not really hitting like that lately. He don't want to. How you gonna be not hitting and then you go and do home run derby? And I also think that he said that his home run derby participation was going to be tied to him being selected as an actual all-star candidate, and I don't think that has happened yet. So he's just like, nah, fuck all that. You know, I'm cool. But I mean, I think this will be a good opportunity for some young cats to come out. I wouldn't mind seeing Andy Paez, you know, represent or Kike Hernandez, one of the other somebody else from the Dodgers can come out and try to be in a home run derby. I wouldn't mind seeing Christian Moore from the Angels.
O'Neal
called up.
O'Neal
Cruz. Ellie.
No, not O'Neal Cruz.
Yeah.
From the Pirates.
Yeah, O'Neal Cruz.
That's his last name. I thought his last name was O'Neal. But his first name is O'Neal?
His first name is O'Neal. His last name is Cruz.
Oh, okay,
O'Neal Cruz. I wouldn't mind seeing Seiya Suzuki, PCA. Why not PCA? What PCA like literally has got Chicago on fire right now. All right. Yeah. These a bunch of folks. Otto Lopez in Miami. Junior Caminero after throwing up having that wicked home run down in South America. The incentive, what could it be, like $100K for whatever charity you want, you know, or like you know, you get stake in I don't know, but it's the same thing as the dunk contest, right? With regard
that's exactly what it's like. That's like exactly what it's like. The players
that you want to see in the dunk contest are not showing up, but there's no LeBron to blame it on. Like, are we going to blame Judge for not? He's in the All-Star game. Why would you want to wear out your arm? Judge is already about to make history. If he hits 2 more home runs,
and to their defense, to Judge's defense, because we did compare him to LeBron. Judge has been in the home run derby before.
Yes.
So
has too.
Exactly. So this is different. It differs in that regard because the players have done the derby before. They just don't do the derby anymore. They don't do it every year. It's like it doesn't hold the same value. So I have no problem with that. I have no problem with you getting to a certain status and you're like, I'm not going to do that. Because why am I going to do that when I'm going to be playing in the All-Star game the very next day?
All-Star.
So that's one of the reasons why I can see Aaron Judge not being in the home run derby, because he's going to be in the All-Star game the very next day. Any of the players that are playing in the All-Star game do not want to tweak anything, don't want to pull anything, don't want to risk injury, smacking balls, because that is a thing. That is the thing, y'all. You can overswing and you know what I'm saying? You can do some things. So I don't expect any of the stars to jump in. Pete Alonso, definitely we're probably going to see the polar bear, and that's just because he loves this event. Pete is always at the home run derby. I feel like he's one of those people that if you don't call Pete, he's gonna feel some type of way. Like it was like, Pete, you know, we didn't call you because we knew you was gonna pull up. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? So in those regards, I have no problems with the stars not pulling up to the home run derby. Again, I do not think that the home run derby loses any momentum. It loses any momentum because you're still getting talented players in the home run derby. You're getting very talented.
Yes, but I feel like we just mentioned, Judge, Ohtani, Soto. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, and you can fact check me, Solo, I believe Juan Soto beat out Albert Pujols for the home run derby in Albert Pujols' last year, which was 2002, if I'm not 2022. So these players have done it. The up and coming, and this is before the big contract. This is before the 765. This is before the 450. This is before the 700 for Shohei. So this is the time for the Jazz Chisholms to step up, right? This is the time for like this is where you showcase, and we look back and be like, damn, remember back when Jazz was, I'm saying, he was going to get. I want to see Jazz Chisholm in the names of the sport should be in it. Ketel Marte should be in this shit. Why not Ketel Marte? Why not James Wood from the Nationals? You know what I'm saying? Like what is the what fear factor for them? They ain't even got the big contract yet. This ain't nothing but exposure. Unless they trash, unless they terrible.
Did the list already come out?
There's only two. It's just those two. It's
okay. So what's to say? What's to say that they those players?
It's in a week. It's in like a week and a half.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. Specifically, Ketel Marte, his mother just died. So that could be why his name hasn't come up, because he's literally just dealing with his mother just passing. And that was big news because I mean,
he's going to get into that.
His mom just died, but since then I think he's hit 3 home runs, 3 home runs, like in the course of two days or something like that. He's been smacking it out the park as of recent. For the Diamondbacks, I think for the Diamondbacks. Does he play for the Diamondbacks?
And to be clear, I don't think his mom just died. What happened was she passed not too long ago, not like within the last day or so, but I think last year or and he was being heckled by somebody in the audience, in the crowd.
It was last year. Oh, okay. I thought she just died.
In the crowd about, oh, you're gonna end up just like your mom. And this is actually an interesting moment. I'm glad you brought this up. I was gonna wait until a little later in the show, but I want to talk. Let me holler at y'all about what happened here. Actually, you know what? I think the video speaks for itself. We'll go ahead and let me play this real quick, and let me see if I can get y'all to tell me what y'all thought about this right quick.
Chicago. This is from the previous pitching change. Torey Lovullo with Ketel Marte in tears on the pitcher's mound, waiting for the reliever to come in, consoling Ketel Marte, who was in tears during that break. And for more on exactly what is wrong, or at least an idea, we go to Todd Walsh.
Yeah, guys, I can't speculate on that.
Back to Chicago. This is from the previous.
Fans are nasty, and fans go too far sometimes. And I love my players, and I'm going to protect them.
Your protection starts way before today, though. You guys go so far. It's up. We were talking on the air. I know you're a father figure to him, are you not?
Right. Yeah. I've known Ketel for 9 years, and he's had some unbelievably great moments and some hardships as well, and some really, really tough moments in his life. And I know those. And at the end of the day, we're human beings and we have emotions, and I saw him hurting and I want to protect him.
Can you tell us what you told him?
I love you and I'm with you and we're all together and you're not alone. And no matter what happens, no matter what was said or what you heard, that guy's an idiot and shouldn't have an impact on you.
So just to kind of, I would read the article and kind of go through the whole thing, but I'll just make it as brief as I can. Essentially, Ketel Marte, he's up to the bat there in Chicago at the White Sox Stadium, and a fan basically, while he's out playing, is basically saying, "Yo, you suck. You're gonna end up like your mom. your mom, you trash like your mom, you should be dead, you should, like shit like that. And it rattles Cattell, right? To the point where you saw his emotions, like he's fucked up about it. He's not necessarily
Hands are nasty and
shy about. I mean, he's not. I mean, he couldn't hold it in no more. You know what I'm saying? And so it prompts the league to not only kick the fan out, but to ban him from all
parts.
stadiums.
Thank you.
Forever.
Ever.
Completely banned.
He got to go hang out with the fishes.
Well, I mean, so this seemed clear cut to me. However, it has been brought to my attention that this is something that might be a little bit of a step far, because depending on your perspective, all right, if we go all the way back through the integration days, right, there was a lot of stuff hurled at Jackie Robinson, Larry Doby, Kurt Flood, all these cats, Satchel Paige, when these cats came in, and I don't
Ken
remember
Griffey Jr.
Ken Griffey.
Yeah.
Yo, come on. I mean, even I'm sure Jazz still hears shit and has to ignore it, right? My point is, if Cattell had not reacted in this manner, nothing would have happened. Is it the reaction that triggers the security call? Like because this is not the only thing that's happened as of late. Like, fans is getting out of control. There's another guy, Dennis Santana, I want to say, he recently slapped the fan because they was like, he was trying to, you know what I'm saying? It was talking shit, and he had enough of it. He was like, look, bro, I'm gonna slap the shit at you. He jumped up and slapped them because fans is unruly right now. Like, it's some crazy shit. Like, yeah, okay, bop. You know what I'm saying? Like, fans think they can't get hit. They think they can't get it. And this dude got banned.
Well, let me tell you something that what you see that is kind of the consistency that I've seen too. And I mean, obviously there's exceptions to all rules, but these are kids. The dude that said this to Cattell Marte was 22, I think, 22 years old. These young around 17, and that's where I'm seeing a lot of the disconnect coming from. And we've had conversations about this before. There is just there is a real disconnect, an emotional disconnect from the younger generation, where they just think they can say anything and not get noticed. And I've seen it a lot. I've seen it a whole lot. Saying just anything, doing anything. We're in an era right now where somebody can walk up to you, touch you, do whatever, and they're doing it as content creators and doing it for likes and views and clicks and all of that stuff. And then when they get dealt with, you know what I'm saying, because they thought shit that was funny and you don't find it funny, then they sit there and they look with this they got this stammered look like, what was all it's a camp, it's what they say, it's a prank. It's a prank. It's a prank. It's a prank. So because you say it's a prank, then that excludes you from repercussion. Like, as long as it's like because I've seen it happen too often now at this point, where just coming up, doing stuff to people, putting your hands on people, doing all the violating people's stuff. Like, to sit there and talk about this man's dead mother is just there's gotta be a line called in the sand. If we still had it, if it was still like it was when Jackie Robinson was around, and these fans are calling you all kind of racial slurs and all of that kind of stuff and just getting away with it. And as long as you don't respond, they just continue to get away with it. Then, you know what I'm saying? Then that would be one thing. But what we do know is that if a fan calls you a racial slur at a basketball game, football game, baseball game, and security hears it, or there's, you know, fans bring attention to it, they will escort you out of those facilities.
Right.
They will think you will get the fuck up out of there. We saw it happen. I think it was in
didn't LeBron have like the lady, the white lady, and her son was on the sideline, and
that they got kicked out of the game for heckling LeBron. Russell Westbrook had an incident in Utah where he was called a racial slur, and they snatched that dude up out of there and kicked him out of the out forever. But when I hear these forever bans, like the dude they was talking about, he's forever banned from all parks in the MLB. I'm like, it sounds good, right? But how do you really police this dude from being banned from all of the stadiums?
Right.
Like that's it. Like at last I checked, you don't have to show ID with your ticket.
Nope.
So it sounds good, you know, for Ketel Marte to feel like something was done to support you. But in all honesty, that there's no way that the MLB can police this young man and his people from ever going into another stadium. They may be able to police them at that stadium, but as far as like all the stadiums, come on, man, there's just no way. That's just impossible. Unless they got this big picture of him up on every screen and in the MLB in every stadium, which we know that's not going to be the case. It's impossible. This dude is
you're right, because like when I go to baseball games, I just show them my phone and they be like ding, and then I go in and they never be like, "Is this you?" or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying?
Never.
And furthermore, I always get 2 tickets, and so whoever comes with me, they never even ask you. Beep, beep, yeah, he with me. You know what I'm saying? So like, they with me. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't even. So you could get your homeboy to just get you a ticket.
Exactly.
They're gonna be right back there next week. Like, hey, I'm back, motherfucker.
With his hat pulled down real low, he gonna be in there like, in there talking about his mom again. So it's sad.
Let me just say this part though. It is a slippery slope because I'm sure that people have heard shit like that before. It's not the first time, but in Ketel's case, it hit him. It hit him like he was like, holy shit, like they go in there. And so because he reacted like that is why they ended up kicking him out. But they've never really officially put that rule on the books. You understand what I'm saying? You're not allowed to say such and such to certain player about said thing. You know what I'm saying? So is there a line that needs to be drawn? Should it be said explicitly? Like, listen, a player at any point in time has the right, if he feels you have made him feel uncomfortable, to request your ejection, and you have nothing. There's nothing you can do about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, should they just make a blanket statement like, listen, you're here as a privilege, and at any moment, the stadium can escort you out for no reason whatsoever, or for some reason. But you got, in order for you to not be in that position, just calm your ass down. You know what I'm saying? And try to know the line. Or do they need to be like, no, you're not allowed to say racial shit, you're not allowed to say sexist shit, no homophobic shit, and also don't say shit about people's, dead parents or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Because if he didn't react like that, he would have still, this shit would still be happening.
If I'm being honest, Vince, because let me first say, I'm so sorry that this happened to Ketel Marte. Losing a parent, a sibling, anybody who you love is always a horrible and tragic thing. But with all that being said, I think that the fan of any team, and a fan in general, should have the right to say whatever the fuck they want to say. And it goes back to heckling. It goes back to heckling. It goes back to what fans are in and what home court, home field, home whatever represents. It represents a contentious arena. And anytime you go into those places, you're not supposed to be comfortable. That's why they have the fans there to make you uncomfortable. That's why traveling to a team's home court or home field or home arena is always supposed to be tougher than when you're at home where it's safe and loving and all of those things. This is also why players get paid so much, because there are certain things that you have to deal with that the layman or the average individual does not have to deal with. This is a tough-skinned thing. It is something that used to be a thing where players like Jackie Robinson, who were called everything but a child of God, who still was able to thrive and be one of the greatest players that we've ever seen to play the game of baseball. This is what it takes sometimes. It takes that grit. It takes that drive. It takes that ability. I think that the only thing that a fan, when it comes down to, should not be allowed to do is to put hands on a player or throw items at a player. That is the two things. You at that point, that is assault and that is illegal. But as far as, we live in a country where we have freedom of speech, and I love that we live in a country and we have the freedom of speech. But we also live in a country that is not absent of consequence. So anybody who decides that they want to heckle a player, one of these 6'8", one of these 245-pound linebacker looking baseball players, you want to heckle him? Cool, heckle him. But when he decides to jump up and slap the shit out of you, you got to live with that too. And I think that's the point that I think where the lines and everything need to be crossed. Need to be drawn. You cannot touch a player and you cannot throw anything at a player. But outside of that, you should be able to say whatever the fuck you want to say. A player has the ability at that point to tune you out. And that, I think that's what you have to do. You have to understand you're in what they call it's called a hostile environment for a reason, Vince. Like, you don't go.
Look, I agree with you, but I'm imagining some kid behind home plate while Mookie Betts is at bat going nigger, 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 and you just have to be like, I don't think that should be allowed. I think that even if Mookie has channeled a level of his chakra where he can tune it out, the ballpark should be like, nah, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like there should be a structure in play. Like, I agree with you. Hostile territory, all that. Like, give it to him. But I do think that the stadium, and I think that this, to your point, like, because you've already said it in sports, there's already like an unwritten rule. Like, look, we ain't gonna say what it is, but you know when the limit. And if you don't know it, then you're gonna learn that day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like, and this is, I think, where it falls into that category. Now, I'm pissed. I don't want to say pissed off, but yeah, of course, we wish that they could have said this. They could have banned everybody when, Branch Rickey was like, yo, Jackie, so what I need you to do is turn the other cheek. And you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody going to call you a nigga and they're going to say, I'm going to hang you from a tree and I'm coming for your daughter and coming for your family. And I just want you to show them that you can steal that base and hit that ball. Yeah, he didn't have that luxury. Yes, we get it. That was 1940. But we are where we are now. And I do think that the league, it's not the players, not the teams, not the stadiums necessarily, but the league should be able to say, listen, we reserve the right to use our discernment to allow you in our, space based on conduct. And if it does not breach what we consider to be egregious, and we could, and that is a slip. And if you don't like the fact that that's vague, then that's tough. Don't come. But if we think you're just going to sit there and talk about somebody dead mama right behind the plate, and we think that that's too far, then we get to, if we're gonna sit there and call somebody the N-word loud as hell and wear N-word shirts and sit behind the plate, then yeah, we got the right to be like, nah, fuck that shit. We don't, you know what I'm saying? But you're right. They should expect, but I'm just glad that the league is like, yeah, but you know what I'm saying? There's got to be at least some sort of, a modicum of decency with regard to the sport where we can maintain that, because the public is watching. We don't want to start making it seem like it's okay. Yeah, come on out, bring your racism to the front row, and we gonna support it. You know what I mean?
Well, look. That's why I said we live in a country of free speech, but we also live in a country that is not absent of consequence. So fans can police themselves. If me and you are sitting in the stadium watching the Cardinals play baseball, and this white man sitting right in a row in front of us and saying nigga, and we don't get up and choke the shit out of his ass.
Right. I
think if enough racists get choked out at these games, they'll start thinking twice about saying it as loud as they say. They might be like, look, that's cool, but that's what I'm saying. They should be, anybody should be allowed. I'm always for free speech, but just know, and I tell my kids this all the time, there is a consequence to your actions, whether it be a good consequence or a bad consequence. But you got to be ready to stand on whatever it is that you choose to do. So if you choose to go out here and slap somebody, know that there is a good chance you'll get slapped back. So just know, don't put your hands on. There's certain things you teach people and then certain things that they learn. So for this kid who was sitting there talking about that man's mom, somebody in the stands could have really took it in their own hands and dealt with him on a level that would make him second guess that the next time he decides to go that far. But we live in this era right now where everyone is offended by everything. So it's hard to monitor. It's hard to always monitor what people say. You have to allow people the opportunity to get to experience the consequences in order for them to understand what is and what isn't acceptable. That's why I said, as long as we keep seeing people on Instagram thriving and getting thousands and thousands of views for doing crazy stuff. It's some dude that I see on the internet that just goes around and walks up on you and your lady and talk about your girl got a fat ass. And he just does it. He walks up on people and does that. And until somebody deals with his ass, like really deals with his ass, he gonna keep on doing that. And that's what I'm saying. There's a consequence to all your actions, people. So when you go to these games and you decide to heckle these 6'4", 257-pound, because listen, baseball players are big as fuck. Like no, people are not talking about that. These baseball players are not little. They are not little.
I think I could take Mookie.
Why you single out Mookie play hands and feet on you, man?
I think I could take Mookie. I think I might be able to wrestle Tommy Edman. I think I might. CJ Abrams, I feel like he got a chip on his shoulder. I don't know, but I feel like it'll be a fair fight if we square it up.
I think all of them are catching the W on you, bro.
Bobby Witt Jr.
all catching the dub. Bro,
who I don't want to see is I don't want to see
none of them. You don't want to see any of them.